Today on the spot, we get the latest coming to Wii Shop channel and see what's hitting store shelves this week in new releases. Our friends from Double Fine stop in for a demo of Costume Quest, and Harmonix gives us a look at the choreography for Dance Central. Today on the spot.
Hello everybody and welcome to Today on the Spot for Tuesday, October 12th. I'm your host, Sean McGinnis. This is my co-host, Sophia Tong. Sophia, how is it going?
Good, I'm finally in the office, been traveling a lot lately.
You've been doing a lot of traveling,
yes.
But you're back here. It's, it's October. We've got a demo of Costume Quest coming up on this episode. The Halloween spirit is in the air.
I know, it's October, it's starting to get warm in San Francisco for some reason.
Which is weird, it's like autumn and it's finally warming up because from the freezing summer, were it that we lived in any other city besides this one,
yes,
it would feel like Halloween season.
Yeah, but we have a special coming up too.
We do have the Halloween episode coming up. That should be a lot of fun, but we've got a lot of great stuff coming up on this episode of the show, but first we're going to kick it off with the latest headlines.
Hey everybody, it's your GameSpot news update for Tuesday, October 12th. I'm Toy Thorson. After months of decline, things may be finally looking up for the game industry, thanks to a little title called Halo Reach. Wedbush analyst Michael Pachter believes that, based on the strength of the game's sales, the U.S. software sales reached $665 million in September, an increase of 2.4%. He expects the month's other best-selling new releases to include Dead Rising 2 and FIFA Soccer 11. As for Sony's PlayStation Move, he predicted modest launch sales for the PS3's motion sensing controller. And although the official numbers won't be in until Thursday, Pachter also predicted that Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock sold just 100,000 units during the month. In other news, developer Raven was hit by layoffs this week. Activision confirmed to GameSpot that roughly 20 people have been laid off from the Madison, Wisconsin-based studio following the release of its time-bending shooter Singularity this summer. Raven had been rumored to be working on DLC for Call of Duty Black Ops, the reportedly pre-order record-breaking game from another internal Activision studio, Treyarch. The layoffs come just over 1 year after Activision laid off nearly 3 dozen developers from Raven after it completed work on another shooter, Wolfenstein. Well, that's it, your GameSpot news update for Tuesday, October 12th. For more headlines, head on over to news.gamespot.com.
It's October and that means a lot of hot games are coming out this season, so first let's check out what's coming out this week on new releases.
This week in new releases. Last week's new release schedule included post-apocalyptic action, basketball, and vampires, but this week focuses on contemporary warfare, a little man named Maxwell, and Mexican wrestling. Leading the pack this week is Electronic Arts' modern-day shooter Medal of Honor. Hitting the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and PC on Tuesday, the title is a reboot of the 11-year-old Medal of Honor franchise. Fans can expect 2 distinct experiences. Its single-player campaign was created using the Unreal 3 engine, and its multiplayer runs on DICE's Frostbite. The title follows a squad of Tier 1 operators throughout combat scenarios abroad. Also dropping this week is 5th Cell's sequel to the highly praised Scribblenauts. Super Scribblenauts comes exclusively to Nintendo DS on Tuesday and packs in an element not found in its predecessors, adjectives. Now with the help of this new ability, players will be able to guide protagonist Maxwell in a variety of new ways. What was once just a baseball can now become a slimy baseball. For those looking for some mat time, Konami is bringing Lucha Libre Heroes of the Ring to the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 this Tuesday. Lucha Libre will feature the league's familiar 6-sided ring, as well as a number of international stars, including ex-WCW wrestlers La Parka and Conan. Other AAA stars that could be included but are not yet confirmed for the game include Octagon, Abismo Negro, Jack Evans, Teddy Hart, and Silver King. Gamers who've yet to try their hand at Gearbox Software sci-fi themed Borderlands can pick up the Game of the Year edition this Tuesday on Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC. The new SKU packs in all previously released downloadable content, as well as a token to play the Duke Nukem Forever demo early. This week is packing 33 releases. For further details, visit GameSpot's new releases page. Release dates are based on retailer listings and are subject to change.
New releases brought to you by Best Buy. Bring your games to Best Buy and get more trade-in power with select games worth $20 and up in gift cards you can use store-wide.
So on the subject of new releases, I know a lot of you Wii owners are excited about Kirby's Epic Yarn, but that's not out for a little while yet. To see what's going to tide you over until then, it's this week on the Wii Shop channel.
This week on Wii Shop channel. In WiiWare, strap on some running shoes. It's Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1. 16 years after Episode 3, Sonic 4 picks up right where Sonic and Knuckles left off. The game features enhanced gameplay elements and some old moves including the classic Sonic Spin Dash and the versatile homing attack. After that, have a go at triple jumping sports. Get immersed in the world of competitive jumping. Compete in the long jump, high jump, and pole vault. As in real-life jumping events, players have full control over speed, height, angle, and distance. Just remember, it's not the fall that gets you, it's a sudden stop at the end. In Nintendo DSiWare, do a good deed for an animal with Ivy the Kiwi Mini. Ivy's a flightless bird in search of her mother, and she needs your help. Guide Ivy by stretching vines and protecting her from treacherous terrain and mean animals that stand in her way. Next, make up for a huge mistake with data mine. You've personally lost all of mankind's data after erasing the internet and must get it back by splitting bubbles with laser beams. Test your skills at 100 challenging levels, grab equipment upgrades like speed boosts, sticky shots, and shields, break encrypted data and fusion bubbles, and hopefully return knowledge to its rightful place on a server farm somewhere. Finally, be a super cool superhero with GG Series Superhero Ogre. Disassemble a ruthless army of evil one heroic punch at a time. Start with a henchman and work your way up the chain of command until justice is done. That's all the time we have, folks. Join us next week for more This Week on Wii Shop Channel.
So I heard Tim and Tasha from Double Fine were here earlier, and you did this epic demo of Costume Quest.
It's hard to do a demo for Costume Quest that's anything but epic.
It's true.
That is very true. So, as proof, let's take a look at that demo right now. Alright everybody, it is daily demo time, and on today's show we're going to show you Costume Quest courtesy of Tasha Harris and Tim Schafer from Double Fine, who have made the long trip about 5 blocks down the street.
Exactly.
Right?
We had to run the whole time.
You had to run the whole time.
It seemed like a lot longer.
Nice. So, Costume Quest is a game that's been sort of featured in the press for a little while now, but just to give people a basic rundown of what it is, how would you describe it, Tasha?
Costume Quest is a Halloween-themed RPG that it takes place in, well, the first level is a suburban neighborhood where you go trick-or-treating. And as you trick-or-treating, you level up, you gain XP, and do all that fun RPG-type stuff. And
they're monsters.
There are monsters.
And that should be mentioned. They're actual monsters.
And when you fight in the game, you change into a awesome version of whatever your costume is.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you can see I start and I'm just a little robot in a robot suit. Well, I'm actually a little, you can be a boy or a girl, a part of the set of twins. They go trick-or-treating, and you can just select which one you are. And which one you pick, they get the awesome robot costume, and your brother in this case gets the crummy candy corn trash bag costume, which doesn't look that good, but it's good looking enough to fool the monster that's hiding behind this door.
Nice.
He thinks you're candy, and they've come to town to steal candy, and so he ends up stealing you. And here you see the new part, which is you transform into an awesome version of the robot, and now we have a turn-based battle system.
Right, so it's a turn-based battle system, so it's one that people should be instantly familiar with. It's not a big roadblock for people to get into it, but there is strategy and depth in the way you choose your costumes going into a battle, and the timing of when you use them in the fight, right?
Especially as the game goes on and you buy battle stamps, which I'll show you in a minute.
Okay.
But also, yeah, each costume has strengths and weaknesses, especially when you're up against a boss. There's some that you really need to be careful who you pick.
So you were saying a moment ago, battle stamps. We should probably take a look at those to give people an idea for how the mechanics work.
The battle stamps and the special costumes.
And the special costumes.
You get a pattern. The way you build a costume is you get a pattern and you collect materials for it. Here you can swing your candy around and smash pumpkins because it's a Halloween game, and you couldn't have a Halloween game without smashing pumpkins in it. And I don't mean the band. We didn't license we've had enough licensed music to last us for a while. This is all original Peter McConnell music.
Yeah, Peter McConnell did all the music, and he did the music for Psychonauts and Brutal Legend original score.
Yeah.
Most of Tim's games.
So these are, I'm smashing my way through these backyards, collecting candy, because there's candy everywhere. It's Halloween. And then we find these things that are treasure coffins, which have various things to help you out throughout the game. And here they have the 3 materials for my costume, which I put together there automatically to make my robot costume after that evil witch took away my costume with her sudden tornado.
And this one actually has a special ability outside of combat, right? You can sort of roller skate around really quickly.
Yeah. So this monster traps me in this alley behind the trash cans, But if I press the B button here, I can skate around on his little wheelies and jump over the ramp. An awesome Tony Hawk little mini game.
Yeah, so that's kind of one of the ways that you can unlock new areas is if you get the right costume to pass a certain barrier.
Now I vanquished that bully, and now I've made friends with the kid he was picking on, Everett, and he's got a different costume, the knight costume, and I can try it on here if I want. And now I've got the knight costume on, he's got my robot costume, and I can use the special ability of that costume, which is I can hold his little trash can shield up and protect us from overhead damage, which is useful later on. So let's go to play. I'll give you a hint. In the playground is where you find Sadie. So here's Sadie selling battle stamps. We talked to her. She says our costumes are cool but a little boring, and we can get these stamps to make them a little cooler. And here's the little menu of them. So I can get the Fang of the Wolf, which increases my attack power, or the Black Cat, which adds a chance of dodging enemy attacks.
And these are the two that are available now, but they're become more and more.
Yeah, the more and more, there's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, as you level up, you become unlocked in the store. And so, as you can see, you can kind of keep track of how many.
About that many battle stamps.
Yeah.
So that's one of the ways that you guys are sort of layering strategy on top of a fairly simple battle system, right?
Right.
Yeah, and it develops as you play. It gets you pretty soon you have to start using these things. And okay, now I'm gonna go trick or treat. So I'm gonna use one of my battle stamps.
Yeah, I really like the there's this whole random encounter element when you go trick or treating. Some houses have monsters in them, some don't.
Trick or treating, who's there? Oh, monster! You made me lose count of all the candy I'm stealing.
And it's always a different one-liner when they come out of the house.
Yep.
Yes. See, I contributed that. They all had to have different one-liners. I never noticed that volcano. The town has an active volcano? It's not a regular suburb, is it?
Combat mode.
It's so now I'm playing the knight, and so his basic attack is a sword slash sneak. And there's these timing mini games you play. So you can't just kind of tune out and just mash the A button. Sometimes when you're playing an RPG on your DS on the train, and you're just kind of like, you're hitting the A button. So we have to make you pay attention.
All right, cool. Well,
Last
question I've got for you is when is Costume Quest going to be out on downloadable networks?
Costume Quest is coming out on October 20th.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Tasha, Tim, thanks again.
Thanks for having us.
All right, guys.
Bye, Unicorn.
That's your look at Costume Quest. Now on with the rest of the show.
So a couple of weeks ago, I went up to Harmonix to go see Dance Central and Rock Band 3. Our Rock Band 3 feature already went up, so now let's check out our Dance Central feature coming up next.
Yeah, I mean, like what Harmonix sort of got our start in with music that was more like pop, hip-hop, electronic music, and some rock was in there as well. And then, we got really focused on sort of the rock side of things, and there were a bunch of us who were always sort of like secretly hoping we would make it back over to hip-hop and pop music again. And so we were, brainstorming over the years ideas that would be fun, like what games could we make, and dancing sort of just came up as sort of like a natural game focus, just because pop music and hip-hop, it's so much about dancing, and dancing is so close to the musical experience anyways, right? Because you're feeling the rhythm and the beat, and you're sort of like interacting with music in pretty much a similar way you would be when you're making music with an instrument. So we knew someday we had to make a dance game, but we just didn't want to do it until the technology was right. In all of our games, there's a sort of an authenticity streak to them that's super important to us, to make sure that people are actually, what they're experiencing is as close to the real thing as possible. And so you see that really coming to fruition with Rock Band 3. And so we knew that when we made a dance game, it had to come off as that you had to be doing real dancing, not just posing or moving your feet around or anything like that. It had to be real dancing. So, we looked around to see if there was any technology to let us do it. and there wasn't. So we just sort of like sat on it, and we were working on Rock Band and that sort of stuff. And then Microsoft showed us Kinect a while ago now, and that was when we really realized that there was a piece of technology that would allow us to do the kind of experience that we wanted to do. It starts with the songs. And it's really a group of us who are sort of invested in that intersection between the choreography and the songs. And so we sit down and we all come with sort of like our internal list of our favorite songs. So for me, I'm coming with like late 80s and early 90s, like super cheesy hip hop songs.
Basically get assigned a song, and we have an edited version of it. So we edit it down to like 2-3 minutes. And we go back to our room or wherever we feel inspired. We can be just back at home, where we just zone out and get into it. And we come up with choreography that is fun enough and challenging for people, but still easy enough for people to pick up and have fun with. How we break it down is we make sure the chorus stays the same sequence, so you get familiar with it and you feel more comfortable when it comes back around. And then when we do with the verses, depending on what difficulty we want it to be, like if we want it to be a hard routine or an easy routine, we just kind of sequence different moves together.
You know, Naoko and the choreographers will bring the perspective of like, what would it be really fun to dance to?
Music videos can be an inspiration, just whatever we feel at the moment and what we feel the song is. If it's an old school song, we try to keep it old school with the old school moves. If it's a new school song, we do new school moves. So once we get the routine down, we have a choreography review. They check it out. They're like, okay, like, you know, what's gonna work with the camera, what's not gonna work. If, like, you know, our body's positioned weird, if too much crossing in front of the arms, maybe it might not work well. So we adjust whatever we need to adjust, and then we take out what we think is the easiest move. We make the easy routine out of that. And we just sequence them. We loop the move over and over again, so you keep doing the same thing, and then you switch to a different move, and you keep doing that same. So it's a lot of repetition for the easy difficulty. And then we do the same thing with medium, like, oh, this can be a medium move, it could be looped, you know, and then that's what we do medium, easy, and then we keep expert the way it is originally.
That's the really fascinating part of the process, because, you know, it's a video game. And there's the Kinect sensor, which is watching the player dancing and moving around, and we have to compare that and give you things like score and stars and feedback about what you're doing well and not doing well and all that. And so it's interesting working with the choreographers to strike the right balance of moves that look fun and are really fun and make you feel really good, but that are good for the space you're in, because, you know, you're not in a dance club or you're in your living room. And so we sort of a back and forth until we know that it'll be fun to dance to in your living room, and that we can actually score it and do all the detection stuff. And then we get to the fun stuff like mocap and shooting all that stuff, and all the animators then bring it in and make it look good. And we have to teach all those moves in the game, so we have to be able to let you focus on each move and loop it over and slow it down. And
the good thing about Break It Down is basically you're learning. Like, you're not just following an avatar on the screen and being like, okay, I'm lost, I don't know that move, like, and then trying to fake the funk. You basically going to break it down to know what you're doing and learn the choreography. So it's like having your personal dance class at home. In Break It Down, you learn, and you can slow it down if if something's kind of throwing you off, especially when we have moves that double up on one side. So you have like a single, and then a double up. It's like, whoa, what was that? You can slow it down, see it really clearly, and then speed it back up. And, you know, it can be repeated many times, and you just have fun with it.
So Kinect and Dance Central come out at the same time on November 4th in North America, and then shortly after in Europe.
All right, everybody, it is everyone's favorite part of the show. It's trivia giveaway time. On this episode, we are going to give away a couple download keys for Costume Quest, courtesy of our own Sophia Tong.
Well, I actually have to answer the question first. But
Very true.
The question is, name the I'll do that again.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
thing.
All right, everybody, it's everyone's favorite time of the show, trivia giveaways. We're going to be giving away a few download keys for Costume Quest, courtesy of our friend Sophia Tong.
Well, first you have to answer this question, and the question is, give me the names of the boy and girl that are featured in Costume Quest. If you have the answer, you can submit it to us in the answer trivia module on the side of the page, or email us on thespot@gamespot.com. So I know we never mentioned this on the show, but we actually have a weekly podcast called The Hotspot, where Brendan and sometimes Tom Magrino actually, host this podcast, and we all sit there and talk for an hour.
It's a lot of fun, actually, and this week we've got a special one coming your way. Brendan and the guys were joined by some of the folks from Blue Castle, the developers behind Dead Rising 2, and they talked about Dead Rising for a good long while, so that one should be a lot of fun. So definitely worth keeping an eye out for, and also
Reviews.
A big review is coming out this week, Medal of Honor review.
More shooting dudes in the face.
More shooting dudes in the face. Who doesn't love that? Anyways, guys, thanks a lot for joining us on today's episode of the show. I'm Sean McInnes.
I'm Sophia Tong.
So long, everybody. We should mention that, especially because we have a special podcast going up very soon. We were joined by some of the guys from Blue Castle Games, who were. Let's try that again. Yeah.
Where are you going with that? But if you can give us the names and send us the answer in the answer trivia module, or you can email us on thespot@gamespot.com.
We didn't mention. Yeah, we didn't mention the prize.